Yeah, I believe like God is a feeling, a magical feeling, you know, a beautiful feeling, and you know, it's taken me a long time to find it. Really, you know, a number of years. I don't think I could see it when I was younger, and it's like my oldest son. You know, he says he don't believe in God, whatever, and I sort of think, well, that's so negative, really, you know. And I mean, I used to sort of feel the same, really, you know. And I just feel like I'm looking really forward to the future and getting to know more, if you sort of mean. I feel like I found him in a kind of way, and it's not. It's only. I feel like you can only find God when you find yourself.
Yeah, that's a big part.
You know, like not getting jealous of anyone else, just sort of. You know, I mean, you're not number one in the world where you're better than anyone else in any way, alright? You've got to sort of put yourself on a level, like you're the same as everyone else in a kind of way. You're not better than anyone else, but you love yourself. You know what I mean? It's really important, I think. You know, and I think there's so many people out there who get to love themselves, or not educated to know how to love themselves.
Yeah, self-love.
Some people aren't loved when they're a child. You know, they ain't got any parents, things like that, or you know, like some people are actually born and they haven't even actually got any parents, right? Their mum is born, they're born from a dead body because their mum's just died and they don't know who the dad is.
Yeah.
Okay, that happens.
And the child just goes straight into foster care.
Yeah.
You know.
That happens sometimes.
Looked after by the state.
You know, and I feel like even a child, alright, as long as it's brought up by good people, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it's educated, you know, it's going to be happy.
Yeah, as long as
it can have a normal childhood. You know, but you think like a child doesn't really sort of think about parents really too much, as long as it's alive and it's looked after well, and it's got other children to play with. Basically, you know, that's all the children needs really, like love, the proper environment, which is very important. You know, it's important that a child lives in a good city that got righteous people around, basically, you know. I feel like each city is basically a little bit different, you know, like every city's got different rules. You know, some cities allow gambling, for instance, other cities don't.
Yeah.
Some cities allow alcohol, some cities don't, do you know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, I'm living in a city that's got alcohol around it, and quite a few people drink. Or in the past, my dad used to be an alcoholic, and it's one thing that I didn't really like or love about him.
Yeah.
I feel like if he didn't drink so much alcohol, he would have been a better father to me, and all those kind of things. I would have been brought up well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know, like so many children are getting left behind and neglected because their parents might like drinking a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, so it does cause a lot of social problems. So I think like drinking can be a selfish thing to do, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you ain't got any children or any responsibilities, it's not selfish.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like, you know, even me, I want to learn to get in better than I am today.
Become a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better upbringing, really, you know.
And I think that is the purpose of life, mate. To continuously try to become a better human being. And more knowledgeable as well at the same time. You know?
I mean, some people think they know it all, right? But nobody knows it all.
No.
No one.
No one.
And I hate, you know, I can't say the word hate, but it annoys me, those kind of people.
It's just pride, it's ego.
Well, they make me laugh, let's put it that way.
It's just ego.
That's the best way, alright? Just laugh at them. Just laugh at all these people, that think they're better than everyone else, because they're going to fall down big time. It's going to come to one point they're going to fall down once.
It usually hinders people though, to be honest. Pride, too much pride can hinder people, you know.
It's like being spoiled, isn't it, in a kind of way, you know, it's the same thing, you know, people, I mean, some people, it's like my ex-wife, she was spoiled.
Yeah.
When she was when she was being
brought up.
Yeah. You know, and it's not doing no good to the child at the end of the day, you know, because a child's got to learn to do things for themselves, you know, to become a successful person, and independent or whatever, you know, and it's no good spoiling a child whatsoever, because the child never learns really, or I don't know, it's just not doing any good sometimes, you know, when you're spoiling a child too much.
Right, balance.
Well, you just got to get them to do things for themselves in life, you know, and be a bit mean. You got to be cruel to be kind.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes they say.
As a parent, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. Kindness, you know, that's a big subject as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like I feel like even everything, like love for instance, has got two meanings in a kind of way. There's two different ways of getting angry. Or maybe there's more, I don't know, do you know what I mean? But I just feel like there's two sides of things. Like kindness. You know, some people are kind for their own purposes, and that's nasty. That's evil.
You've got people who are kind for their own genuine...
See, that's evil, you see.
Yeah.
But that's kind, that's loving.
Kind from their own genuine intentions.
Well,
you know?
To help other people, some people, like myself a little bit, my kindness really, I don't do it so I can get something back, you see, from them or anyone.
Yeah, same.
You know, do you know what I mean? I try to help people by saying something nice to them, or saying a bit of philosophy that would make them think, you know, if you see what I mean, like have a good future because we're lucky to have one, you know, that's one. You know, and just sort of like say positive things really, sort of to pick people's day up rather than, oh, the weather's bad, because that's negative, you see.
Negative,
You know, the weather is your opinion.
The weather's the weather.
Well, it's your opinion at the end of the day, isn't it?
The weather is what it is. It's you know.
Well, you know, some people say, oh, look at it, it's a nasty weather, or whatever, you know, they use the really most nasty words sometimes, you know. But you can say the rain's beautiful, or I love singing in the rain, or I love the thunder and lightning, because I do. I love seeing it, you know, it really sort of excites me, you know. I get really excited, you know. Some people do, and some people fear it, you see, and that's the thing, you know. But I feel like we all got our own battles to overcome in life, you know, like if you're scared of lightning, say for instance, or you're scared of spiders, that's a battle for you to come over. You've got to learn to love spiders, and you've got to learn to love lightning, basically. And I think, you know, there's a lot of things that I don't like really in life, you know, but I got to battle with those things and learn to accept them, if you see what I mean. Battle with myself. But yeah, maybe I'm going on too much.
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. I think it's all relevant. It's all relevant, you know. It's all about the journey and the purpose of life, you know. We've all got, like we said right at the very beginning of the show, we've all got our own individual journey and individual purpose and the path in which we have to travel, you know. And as they say, life is a journey, not a destination. You know, it's about the process. You're not heading in a particular. Of course, we all, you know, especially people that got goals and stuff like that, you know, that are driven and stuff like this. We all have, you know, things that we're working towards and a direction in which we want to see our life go towards, and we work towards that. But none of us truly know in which direction life is going to go, you know. We can only control ourselves and some of the immediate things around us, like our environment, and other things like our job, the people that we choose to associate with, and other things like this, if you see what I mean, you know. There's lots of different, you know, and other things too. We can, you know, you can put in hard work towards working towards your goals. But like I said, none of us truly knows what the outcome is going to be, you know.
No.
That is the reality of life, you know. So, yeah, just about just live, like you said earlier, living and enjoying life, and trying to enjoy every moment as much as possible. Getting out of your comfort zone. You know, just trying to, you know, become a better person. You know, better person at all times. Yeah. I think continuous growth is the ultimate goal, really, you know, mate.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, like as you do that. I mean, like I said, I've said many times I'm coming up to 60.
Mm.
You know, I mean, I was looking at a child the other day, you know, like in a pram. I was thinking, by the time he's 20, I'm going to be 80. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, goodness me, you know, that's what, you know, it's scary.
It's scary to think about, yeah.
Anyway,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, you know, I feel like I'm starting to enjoy life more and more as I get older.
Yeah.
And I think like you just got to really accept that we do die. We don't. None of us know our lifespan. You know, I mean, I kind of do. You know, because I've lived 50 years, 58 years, so I know my lifespan's 58 so far.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be. You know, I don't know if I'm going to go tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Whatever, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't think I. You know, I think I've got quite a few years left, really. You know. But what I'm saying is nobody knows their lifespan. You know, you might be a day old in this life, you know, just born and die an hour. You know, you might have an hour's breathing and die, you know. And we've all got a different lifespan. And I think just try to enjoy it, you know, for goodness sake, you know, because I think that's the purpose of life, is learning how to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And as I say, we're living in a very difficult world, where there's been wars and all kinds of things, and people, family breakups, right? So it's a lot of children not getting brought up in the correct way, and that's causing more problems later on in a funny way, where they're not brought up and they're causing sort of misery to other people, you know, because they don't understand life, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a disease, really, you know. Sometimes it just takes one person to corrupt 100 people.
True. Yeah.
And, you know, we got to keep evil out in a kind of way. I mean, I try to, you know, go out myself away from, you know, because I know that I'm a very compassionate person, yeah. I just feel like I'm more compassionate than most people, that's for sure, you know. I've always loved insects, birds and things like that, and animals. And I just feel like I've got a more closer connection because of that than most people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really lost their compassion in this world, unfortunately. No fault of their own sometimes, honestly, you know, because I know that where they've driven, you know, some people got to get jobs.
Yeah.
They've got to buy cars and all kinds of things and follow the world order, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But at the end of the day, you know, like for instance, these cars are killing a lot of animals and people every day, and it's not really compassionate out there. You know, I don't think like in today's schools, or I don't know about today's schools, but my schools, they didn't teach compassion really much, you know, which is really important, really.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything, because I can remember school, but they were sort of making me want me to cut up frogs and things. You know, and do horrible things like that, and cut off maybe eyes and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's not my cup of tea at all. You know, it made me cry. You see, because I just feel like from an early age, from a child, I was born with compassion. You know, you know, it kind of like hurts me a lot. You know, living in the world that I'm living in, where there's a lot of people. Most people haven't got that anymore.
Yeah.
They really haven't. They had to give it up, or, you know, for work purposes, for money purposes, and so on.
Yeah.
You know, and I just feel like it's just, you know, it's really sad, really. You know, I go around today and there's not many beetles around anymore. And that's the truth. And when I was a little boy, there used to be quite a few.
Yeah.
And that's quite disturbing. Or there's not so many birds in the sky today, and that's the truth.
Yeah, a lot of things are scarce today.
Well, you know, if you Google how many birds die a year, it'll tell you 33 million birds a year die. You know, I think it's 33 million, but yeah, it's a lot on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was younger, I was taught, you know, boys used to collect eggs for hobbies, and you can imagine how many sort of like. It might have ruined a whole generation of birds, you know, I don't, you know, maybe children still do it today, I don't know, do you know what I mean? But it's a sad world we're living in, where we're selling birds, putting them in cages and God knows what, you know, just to try to make money.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's trying to earn money in this world. And I don't feel like the government don't care how you get it, as long as you get it. You know, they don't care how you make it, or there's no control in any kind of way, you know. It's like you're allowed to make, you know, sort of neat alcohol and sell it. And that might kill someone the next day, if you see what I mean. And, you know, it's all to do with profit, isn't it, this world? Not people.
Yeah.
And I find that, you know, it's sad. It kind of like, it's, you know, it's talking a bit negative really, you know, but like I say, I'm a positive person. And if people out there want to be negative and do the wrong things with their life, I feel like, well, it's up to them to choose to do the right thing in their life.
Of course, yeah.
And start feeling better about themselves. Because when you do the wrong thing in life, you're only making yourself feel better. Worse, sorry. Not better. You know, I mean, like I say, your memories belong to you, so if you do something bad, you're putting a bad memory in your pocket.
Of course, yeah.
And you got, you know, carry that memory for life. And, you know, I'm about collecting good memories, you know. I've never hurt anyone, you know, and beat anyone up, do you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
I haven't got that memory.
Yeah.
I've not stabbed anyone, I've not murdered anyone, do you know what I mean? I haven't got that memory.
Yeah.
Or I've never upset anyone really, do you know what I mean? But, you know, so, you know, I'm not stalling then from anyone either.
I was gonna say, I've never, the worst I've ever had to do is knock someone out. Like, I've never had to harm anyone, anything beyond that, if you see what I mean, you know? I've fought quite a few times in my life and got knocked out once, I must say. Did get knocked out once. I had a good fight with someone once and he caught me with a right hook. You see what I mean, you know?
Your purpose is to survive in life there, isn't it?
But most of my fights, I must say, I was thankfully victorious, you know what I mean? I was always, because my stepfather from young, he was always very much trying to instill that in me and implement that in me, being tough and, you know, fighting and boxing and all these things, you know. So yeah, I must say that I was always lucky in that regard, if you see what I mean, able to kind of hold my own, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I used to fight a lot too, do you know what I mean? And I mean, the purpose in life really is, well, I mean, now, I used to lose my temper so quickly when I was younger, you know, and if anyone said anything to upset me, like I got a big nose or something, I'd hit them.
Go off the rail.
Yeah, you know, and it's really sort of like learning how to control your temper, learning how to grow up, you know, and become independent, mature person, knowing how to treat everybody else around you, really, and, you know, learning how to take care of yourself, really, too, is very important. And I think once you do learn how to take care of yourself and love yourself, you'll finally learn how to love everyone else, and everyone else will love you too in a kind of way.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if you love yourself and you look after yourself, everyone sees that, and that makes everyone smile in a kind of way.
Yeah.
I feel.
It's true.
And not everybody's educated to look after themselves, I feel.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
And I think people don't always realise too that first impressions are so important as well too. You know? Regardless of how other people want to look at it, some people may say, oh, that's a bit shallow, or judging someone on first impression or whatever. But it's a very real thing. Society does work like that, regardless of whether or not you want to, regardless of not but you agree with it or want to, you know, question whether or not it does exist. That's, you know, that's the way it works. It does exist. That's the way it does work. You know, a lot of people, especially in certain industries, certain people of certain, you know, backgrounds or whatever. First impression, they will judge you straight away. You know, on how you look, how you dress, how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you articulate yourself, how you, your mannerisms, everything, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I find, because I retired really about 7 years ago, whatever, I've not really worked for some time, I get more time to focus on myself a bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm aiming to even focus on myself a little bit more in the future too, do you know what I mean? Because I mean, as you do get older, your body tends to talk to you a bit more.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and you have got to look after yourself a little bit more and focus on better food in the kind of way to keep yourself alive, you know, or give you more energy.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know, you do get wiser as you get older. You really do.
Yeah.
You know, and I know this, you know, because, you know, like so I'm getting older, and I just know that even 5 years time I'm gonna, you know, should be a bit wiser. You know, and I think that gives you purpose in life, really, sort of to know that you're going to get better in life, you know, than you are today.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a real big purpose.
Right.
But, you know, like I say, death, you know, you disappear really. You know, it's sort of like sleep in a kind of way is a funny thing. Like we were going to talk about sleep a bit. What's the purpose of sleep, you know? We sleep night after night when it gets dark, you know. What's the purpose of it? To sort of revive yourself in a kind of way, isn't it? You know, I feel like we all need a break. I can't enjoy sleep. Can you imagine life without sleep?
Not really, no. But that's only because we know nothing else.
No.
And we all know that we have to get some sleep, even if it's only a small amount every night.
When you think about sleep, it's almost a bit like death, isn't it, in a kind of way? You know, you do concoct, you go unconscious. You can't even remember you're on planet Earth, really, unless you dream about it accidentally, if you saw what I mean. You know, and I just find it, in a way, quite strange that we go to sleep, then you wake up and it's like being born again, really. And you got to, you know, you remember what you did or where you are in life and what you got to do next, in a funny way. You know, what's the next plan, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, like life's a bit like a ladder. Each day's like a step, you know, and you're climbing up the ladder, and one day you'll see on the top of it, if you see what I mean, if you keep going up the ladder, you know. Like, so I mean, I think like when my wife first divorced me, I wasted quite a few years just sort of like being dead to the world.
I see. Yeah.
But that's depressing, you know. I think it's natural.
Yeah.
You know, that hurt me losing a very beautiful wife, you know. But I just feel like I wish that I had the frame of mind I've got today in a kind of way, you know, like why did it bother me?
Yeah.
You know, why it don't hurt me today, if you see what I mean. I'm quite pleased you did it, but like 15 years ago I was devastated, if you see what I mean, a different story. You know, and I just sort of wishing my emotions weren't so sort of, you know, I just wish they were a bit more mature than they were. Are you with me? Yeah. You know, and it just takes a long time for you to mature your, you know, or even sort of control your own emotions in a kind of way. And I don't feel like I've always been emotional intelligent, you know, even when I was married.
Yeah.
You know, I used to get a bit upset for the wrong reasons, as you see, you know, do you know what I mean? But I've learned slowly in time, you know. I mean, I was a good man when I was married, you know, and a really good, responsible dad in many ways and whatever, a good father, and doing the best I could. But, you know, I wish that I knew what I knew today, the knowledge, you know, and the connection today that I've got with God a bit more, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I've had a bit more time to relax in life and enjoy life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I really am.
Definitely. Me too.
I really am. That, you know, that gives you a purpose, you know, if you've got something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, mate, before we wrap it up and call it a night for this week's episode, all about
purpose.
Any final words, any closing statements, anything at all you want to leave with the people before we get out of here?
Yeah. I think like the purpose, you know, one purpose in life is, you know, sort of just make a big joint, you know, and put your feet up and then, you know, just enjoy life.
Sounds like a very, very good idea, mate. Very, very good idea.
No, not really.
I second that notion. Yes, sir. That can definitely be accomplished.
No, but no, really, seriously.
Yeah.
Just enjoy what you're doing, you know, and love who you are.
That's it. Make the most of life.
give you
try
purpose.
to find your purpose.
But I feel that is your purpose really in life. Really, is finding yourself.
Yeah.
And I think like once you have found yourself, you will start becoming happier.
Yeah.
And more positive in life, and you'll start finding God a bit. I think.
Yeah.
You know, even me, I've got to, because like I say, I've had many years, like probably 40 years, that I've been so busy that I didn't even have time to think about God, you sort of mean, or, you know, because you need to meditate and to get connected with Him in a funny way, I think, have complete peace and just feel happy within yourself, and then I feel like you can start feeling a bit of communication really, or something. There's some sort of, as long as you're all peacefully happy with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Anyway, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode, of course. We'll be back again next week with a brand new episode, so please stay tuned for that. Via the Philosophy Podcast. Good night. God bless. One love. Find your purpose. Make it happen, whatever it is. Yeah.